it's Sandra. Welcome to another episode of Asexualized, my asexual life. This is the place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual, and I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the great big subscribe button below right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live like now, post a new video. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you're enjoying the content as we go along, if you find it useful, helpful, insightful in any way, shape or form, or even entertaining, or if you just want to give this channel some like love. It really helps this channel out and helps to raise awareness of more awareness of asexuality. So that's a thumbs up button like that. And if you didn't know who I am Sandra Bellamy, author of this beautiful book, Asexual Perspectives, 47 Asexual Stories, Love, Life and Sex, a celebration of asexual diversity. I'm also the founder of asexualise.com and the founder of Asexualise Academy. Welcome to tonight's episode. Yes, I am later than expected, but that's because I've been very busy all day with customers, like literally non-stop. And the last customer was messaging me just seconds ago before I started this stream. So it's been such a big deal. I have had 2 hours sleep since I did my last live stream. Just 2 hours, like 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. It was 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. as far as I remember. So, and that was like it, yeah. And so it's just like, whoa, you know. So I've been really busy in the lead up to Christmas. It's the busiest time for selling items online, and just goes kind of crazy, you know. Anyway, this video is all about asexual dating and the 4-letter word that you always need to bear in mind and use when you're dating. That doesn't matter if you're asexual or sexual. This still applies, although it probably applies far more in the case of asexuals than it does in the case of sexuals, because obviously we have kind of a smaller pool of people that we can choose from. But if you're not into dating, if you're an asexual that doesn't want a relationship, you just want friends or queer or really close friends, or maybe you're an asexual that's that wants a queer platonic relationship, any of those things, right, you can still use this 4-letter word in this circumstance, right? So when you are going dating, right, you will come across a lot of people for you that simply aren't suitable for you to be in a relationship with. And obviously it can get quite frustrating. It can make you feel quite sad sometimes, a bit depressed maybe, a bit like, will I ever find someone? But it is part of the... Oh, hi Martin, nice to see you. Lovely to see you so much. But it is part of the process, right? So it's part of the process when you're dating, is that you will have to go for a lot of people that are wrong for you to get the right person for you. And so basically, if I give an example like of how dating goes, right, I'm in sexual dating groups as well as asexual at the moment. So I'm in 3 sexual dating groups, right? And I haven't posted a new post in a while in them, right? And there's one called UK singles, right? UK singles meaning people who are single in the UK. Well, that's theoretically what you think it means, but it doesn't, because there's tons of people from all over the world in this particular group, which it drives you a bit nuts because a lot of them are after visas. For example, this person that messaged me today. Hello, Sandra. I'm Lambert from Cameroon. Can we be friends? There is something about you that interests me. Book writing. So I didn't know whether he was talking about dating or if he was talking about interest in me teaching him how to write books, right? So I put, hi, I haven't got a course out on book writing yet. I'm uber busy with other business stuff at the moment. So I was keeping it very professional. I have a course coming out next year about how to make money online, right? And then he goes, okay. And then he started talking about the dating stuff. Okay, I'm 19 years old. And I like women. Something about you that interests me. The fact that you live in the UK. Exactly, Martin. Exactly. That's more like it. It's so true. And this is pretty much you. I have to tell. Yeah. Oh, hi, Sam. Lovely to meet you. See you. Sorry. Bear in mind, I've had 2 hours sleep since I last did my live stream, and like 2 hours sleep in like 48 hours or something. So my mind is not completely with it tonight. It could be like, I don't know, woo-woo. So yeah, but yeah, Martin's quite correct. Something about you that interests me, the fact that you live in the UK. And wait till you hear this other guy, Martin, what he said. I mean, it's a shocker. I mean, at least he was being honest. This is the first guy, then there was another guy, right? So this one, so this guy's saying, okay, I'm 19 years old, and I like women older than I am because I believe experience is best. And like Martin said, really what it is I live in the UK. But I just said, well, I am not looking for a long distance relationship or marriage. I don't want to live with a guy either. I want a guy to be self sufficient and look after himself. Wow, cool. Then listen to this. Just listen to this. Wow, cool. Then what's your role or objective on being in that singles group if you don't want a relationship? Did I say that I didn't want a relationship? Did I say I didn't want a relationship? No, that's not what I said. And this guy doesn't even live in the UK. So why the heck is he having a go at me about being in a UK singles group, asking me why I'm in it when he doesn't even live in the UK? Martin, 2 hours of sleep in 2 days sounds great. So much work. P that everyone around me wants to be a drone instead. Agree, Martin. Yeah, it is good, but I am a bit tired to say I have been feeling a little bit dizzy today, and I need to. I've had like 3 meals today, you know, like besides breakfast. So assumption versus evaluation. People need to learn to evaluate much more. Oh, hi Heather. Oh, it's a lovely party today of all my friends. Wonderful. Love you, Heather. So right, so basically, yeah, so exactly. So he had a go at me for why I'm in the dating group when I live in the UK and he doesn't. So I just thought I thought that's just not very good. So I put I do want it, and then he's accused me of not wanting a relationship just because I don't want to relationship with him, you know, in another country. So he's put, oh, I said to that, I do want a relationship, but a living apart together relationship with a guy in the UK. Why are you in it if you don't live in the UK? And of course, I know it's because he wants a visa, right? And so he goes, because it's serious. Because it, what did he say? Oh, because it's serious. Groups from here aren't serious. That was his answer. I mean, you have to laugh, don't you? Because you know that it's really just to get a visa. And it's just because they want someone to marry to get a visa. But I just like, you know, I thought I'm not going to argue with him. I'm not going to waste my energy on this type of person, right? So I put good luck. I am working on here and got to get back to work. Happy Christmas. So I thought, spread the love to him, be kind to him. You know what he's really up to. And just don't bother wasting your energy on him. Wishing him Merry Christmas and get on with your life. Because I've been really busy today with customers. I ain't got time to muck around with these people that are clearly like only after visas and basically trying to pretend like I'm the one in the wrong. And so he goes, okay, same, D-I, same, because he can't even speak properly. So that was quite funny. Right, so what you do with these type of people is you just say the 4-letter word. So if you want to know what the 4-letter word is, it's next. Yep, the 4-letter word is not the F word, in case you were thinking it was. It's next. So in the dating game, you have got to say next a lot of times. When a person isn't right for you, they don't fit what you're looking for, you say next, because dating is a numbers game. Right? Obviously, with asexuals, we are more limited in numbers, but it's still a numbers game, right? The more people you speak to, the more people you date, the more people you go out to, the more people you go into conversation with, the greater the opportunity of getting the right person for you, right? It's a numbers game. Martin, I was actually thinking of the S word, but to each their own. Right, so get a load of this guy, right? I have to, he's just got some balls, I tell you, right? And yeah, I don't want to know them, right? I blocked this guy very quickly. I couldn't believe him, right? But I mean, at least he's being blatant, not like the other guy. Hi, he put, again from UK singles. Remember, this is not an asexual dating group. This is a sexual dating group. But it's UK singles, and this guy, again, doesn't live in the UK. Surprise, surprise. So he puts hi, and I put, hi, I'm looking for a guy in the UK. Right? Can't be more clearer than that, right? But I want marry you. This is his first words to me. Hi, and then, but I want marry you. I put, I don't want marriage. I hate that. I want live with you. I put, I don't want to live with anyone. Find someone else. And then he put, do you want money? And I put, no. And then he goes, I want UK residence. So he actually said, I want UK residency. And that was it. Blocked. I thought, I cannot believe you said that. But I'm glad you told me the truth. Because all these other guys, they don't even blooming say that. That's what they're after. But yeah, at least he blatantly said it. But I mean, seriously, this person or these type of people are not my problem, and they're not your problem, right? If you have a person that comes in wanting a visa, it's not your problem. It's not your problem to get them into this country. I've had other guys before him, like thinking that basically, do you know what I mean? That it's up to me to help get them in the country. Oh, you need English lessons. Oh yeah, I should say that back to him. Heather. Oh, Heather's being polite. Bullshit for sure, Sandra. Yeah, bullshit. Hi. Oh, hi, Ray. Nice to see you. Lots of love. Nice to see you. So yeah, it's a lot of bullshit, right? Heather's completely correct on that. And it's just like really like, seriously? Do you know what I mean? And so this is what you have to do. You just have to say next in the dating scene. You have to just say next. And it's taken me a while to be able to do that, because obviously I find that quite callous, quite cold. But really, if you're giving your heart away to these new people in your life that you don't even know, it's not a good thing. So it's better that you have the mindset that if this person isn't fitting the bill from the beginning, you cut it short quickly, because what we tend to do as human beings, we tend to get very emotionally connected to people very quickly, and we tend to put people on pedestals and make them out to be better than they are, and we ignore the warning flags in the beginning. So a lot of us have our own intuition, right? We have this thing in our head which is like, don't do it, or this person isn't really genuine, or this isn't looking good, or they're not telling me the truth. But the person will go, oh, of course I'm telling you the truth, and they try and make you think that they're a great person and they're telling the truth, even though you know in your heart of hearts and your mind of minds, this person isn't being genuine. There's something that's not right there. And you've got warning flags going off. But because, especially with asexuals, as we're scarcer, more scarcer in numbers, it can give you a scarcity mindset, where you get into the mindset that, I'm not going to be able to get anyone for a relationship. You kind of can go into panic mode, and then you settle for second, third, fourth, fifth, 10th best. Do you know what I mean? Because you're not thinking about yourself, you're thinking about them. I mean, the number of asexuals I get in my group going, oh, when should I tell someone I'm asexual? You should damn well tell them in the beginning. You have nothing to lose. They have a right to know. If you're an asexual person that doesn't want sex, they have a right to know, just like you have a right to know if they're heterosexual, right? You both have rights, and you should be saying up front. You shouldn't have to be getting involved with them for 3 months down the line. That is completely the wrong psychology and the wrong attitude and mindset to have. In the beginning, you should be very upfront. I don't want sex in a relationship. So if you're interested in that, I'm not your girl, or I'm not your guy, or I'm not your non-binary, or they, them, whatever you want to say, whatever gender you are, it's really, really important that you emphasize that and you do it straight up front. No mess around. Otherwise, you'll just get hurt. Ray, yes, from the start, you tell them. Exactly, Ray. You should be turned from the start. I cannot emphasize this enough, but still, I see so many asexuals in groups. Like, they can't even come out to their family about being asexual. But if you're uncomfortable about coming out to your family about being asexual, don't use the word asexual. Say, I'm just not into sex. I'm just not into sex, mum and dad. I'm just not into sex. cuz I'm just not into sexist, you know? That's a lot easier to say, and not everyone's going to be into everything, right? And people don't understand the word asexual. A lot of the time people think it means you're a highly sexual person, right? You're asexual, meaning I'm really sexual. Do you know what I mean? That's, you know, I get loads of people approaching me over that, loads of guys thinking that means I really want sex, you know? So it can be very confusing, the word in and of itself, right? But if you just cut the all these like wording out that people don't understand when they're not asexual, and just cut to the chase and say, look, sex is not my thing. I'm not interested in it. It doesn't interest me. So if you're trying to hook me up with my cousin, or if you're trying to hook me up with this girl or this guy, just, you know, really is no point, because I'm not interested in that unless they don't want to sex in the relationship. It, you know, because it does nothing for me. It's not my thing. You know, just like some people don't like Brussels sprouts. You know, I don't like sex. Just like some people don't like certain types of pastries. I don't like sex. Just like some people don't like to play baseball. I don't like sex. Do you know what I mean? Just like some people, you know, like can't swim. You know, I just can't really have sex because it's not something I'm into. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, it's not like I physically can't have it, but I just don't want it because it's not my thing, you know? So it's really, really important that you say this and be honest. It's like Marmite. Yes, Ray, and it is so important you tell them. They have a right to know, just as you have a right to know. You have just as much right to know that they're, whether they're bisexual, whether they're transgender, whether they're you know, whether they're polyamorous. Do you know what I mean? I mean, you could argue, well, why have they got to tell you that? Why, if you're not telling them you're asexual, why do they have to tell you what sexuality they are? Why do they have to tell you what gender they are? Why do they have to say anything? Because it's a relationship, right? You want to get off on the right footing, right? You want to share yourself with that person, your hopes, your goals, ambitions, dreams. You want to share about you, right? You need to know for your own peace of mind what type of person that person is, where they're polyamorous, for example. If you're highly monogamous, you don't want polyamory, you need to know that. There was even a person that got hurt. I remember they wrote writing in one of the groups a long time ago it was now, and they said, oh, really got on well with this person, got into a relationship with them, they didn't know they were polyamorous and they're monogamous, and they got very hurt. Right. Martin, except people who dislike Marmite are wrong. Sam, a relationship must be based on honesty and openness. Martin, I agree with Sam. Exactly. It should be based on honesty and openness, right? It should be, right? And, you know, the people that don't live at home, particularly with their parents, they should be able to say stuff to their parents. Phone their parents up if you need to and tell them. You can always put the phone down on them if they start shouting or go off on one on you. Do you know what I mean? Or any family member for that matter. Do you know what I mean? But obviously when you're living at home, I can appreciate that it is a little bit more harder. When you're under the roof of the person, they can start shouting, yelling or whatever if you haven't got a really understanding family. Luckily my parents are cool about my asexuality. But do you know what I mean? But if, particularly if you've left home, you've got no ties, you know? You can walk out the door whenever you like. Do you know what I mean? You can like put the phone down whenever you want. Do you know what I'm saying? So specifically, definitely when you, or text them. Exactly, Ray. Exactly. But, you know, I mean, I just think start using the words, I don't like sex, because I used to say that. I didn't even know I was asexual years ago. I used to say those words. I'm not really into sex. Well, I used to say I hate nudity. And I used to get, my parents didn't understand me back then. And my mum just goes, oh, you're just insecure. And I absolutely hated that. There was one thing she said that really wound me up. It's like, it's not about me being insecure. I genuinely don't like nudity. I can't stand it. And I don't like a guy looking at that. If I'm in a relationship with him, I feel that's kind of cheating. That's just the way it is. Like, if he's single, like, you know, do what you like, innit? But if he's in a relationship, I think the only person's body you should be looking at is mine. Not that I really want him to look at mine either. But I just kind of think it's an unfaithfulness. Do you know what I mean? I think if the guy's going around, this is just the way I am. That's about the only old-fashioned thing about me. Is that because I'm really modern girl, you know? But, you know, it's kind of like, I'm quite traditional. I just think that he shouldn't be looking at other women's boobs and stuff. Why does he need to if he's got me as a partner? It just doesn't make sense to me why he'd want to do that. You know, I just don't like that type of thing at all, you know. But I've always hated nudity. You know, I don't like it in films. There's no need for it. And, you know, I do a lot of no sex movie reviews on this channel because I try to watch movies without any sex in it. But You know what I mean? It's very, when you're asexual, you're gonna go through a lot of people that are gonna be wrong for you, especially if you're looking to date heterosexuals, for example. There's going to be a lot of them. The majority of them aren't going to be right for you because the majority are going to want sex. It's just what they do, even if they say they don't want it. A lot of them just lie to tell you what you want to hear. I mean, there was a guy that was you remember that kissed me on Tuesday, the Bangladesh guy. He lasted 3 days of messaging me. The last I heard from him, because I haven't messaged him back because I told him he wasn't suitable. And I wanted to see how long he'd last messaging me. 3 days he did, till the Friday when he was going out and asked me if I was going out. So he probably met another woman that night, which is fine, She's welcome to him. Carry on. Because he's no good to be in a relationship with. Do you know what I mean? He can't even tell the truth. So, not with me, And that's, he was lying, saying he didn't like sex and didn't like alcohol when he offered me a drink at the bar twice. Do you know what I mean? He didn't drink any alcohol when I was with him, but he would have done if I'd have said yes. Do you know what I mean? So you've got to understand that a lot of people, you'll just have to say next person, next person, next person. And that's, what it's going to be like for me at the club, First of all, it was there's an Indian guy that I've danced with twice. He's just like a dance guy because he clearly is a non-committal, non-relationship ever type of guy. Unless probably he got a partner that wanted to have sex with him 24/7, then he might actually have a relationship because that's what he's into. So that is the hypersexual that I've just danced with twice. And then there was an Indian guy who snogged me who for about an hour, which was lovely, but then he wasn't interested in seeing me afterwards. And then there was this Bangladeshi guy that kissed me and he was interested, but then never actually arranged a date. He never followed through. So this is the type of thing you've got to look for as well. Do their actions match their words? If he's saying, I'd like to see you again, when, can I see you tomorrow? And I'm like, no, because you don't change your plans and drop your plans for someone, right? You've got a life of your own. They need to know that. Otherwise, they just think you're at their beck and call every 5 minutes, right? So I said no, but I said I could have seen him this coming week, which was tomorrow, like Monday. It'd be very interesting to see if he does text tomorrow going, oh, did you want to see me today? I'd be like, no, bye. But I don't think he will. I think he'll probably have got another woman by now, which is good, but, when a person's like saying something and then they don't follow through on it, that means they're not being genuine, So you've just got to move on, when they're lying saying I don't want sex, when clearly why would they not want sex if they're not asexual? And he looked very sexual person to me just by looking at him, and he was trying to turn me on, on purpose. That's what a sexual person does. They try and turn you on so you want sex with them. It just doesn't work with me because I'm not interested in sex. Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't do anything for me. So that's quite funny sometimes. It's like, what you try is like, yep, that's your leg, and that's a leg. Welcome to the land of leg. But yeah, so it's kind of weird, obviously, when you don't experience any sexual attraction and you're consciously aware of it. There's a very big difference between being asexual and just knowing you're asexual, and when you're actually really passionately kissing a guy and notice you're not turned on at all, not even aroused, and because I usually do get aroused by kissing, and you're definitely not sexually attracted. Sometimes I do test myself in my head. I'm like, am I really not sexually attracted to any of these guys? And it's like, nope, you're really not. You don't feel anything. There's nothing there. It's really bizarre. Because obviously before I wasn't consciously aware of it. There's, like I said, there's a very big difference. Because when you're consciously aware of something, you can think about it in the moment, thinking I'm just not experiencing any sexual attraction. It's kind of like being in a bubble, and you're like paused, like because of your thinking. It's kind of like you're thinking in your head, and you're kind of having this really weird conversation about how you're feeling, and it's kind of like you're completely in another world in that moment to everyone else. It's just bizarre, like if you're really thinking consciously about it, and you're kind of analyzing yourself. And I like lately with the guys, I'm just analyzing myself. I'm like, I'm not even getting aroused by kissing anymore. Isn't that a bit weird? But it may be because I don't let them touch me in certain places that would arouse me, because, we're in a club and I got boundaries. It's really important that you understand before you go to be near someone what your boundaries are. Do you know what I mean? It's very, very important. So besides using the word next when you're dating, you need to have boundaries in place. You need to know that if you are going to be around sexuals, you're very strong in what you want from that sexual person and what you don't want from them. You need to have some sort of idea of what you want, but you do need as much idea as possible about what type of relationship you want and what type of relationship you want with each encounter, so that you're clear going forward the person you need to stay next to. Because if you're like, if I want just a dancing buddy there, then the relationship stuff doesn't matter, does it? Right? If I'm not looking for a relationship with them, it doesn't matter, right? But if I specifically go in there to dance, kiss, and then possibly look to get into a relationship with the guy I kiss, that's kind of like changing the whole dynamic, right? So you kind of ask yourself with each encounter, with each person you come across that you're interested in, what you actually want. Do you want that person to just, in my case, just, do I want him to be just a dancing partner? Or because, some of the guys will probably go out regularly there? Or do I just, am I interested in a relationship with this person? Because when it goes to the realm of, I'm actually interested in having a relationship with you, possibly, it then enters a different zone, the like dating zone. And then if they're really not up for the dating, then you kind of like don't waste your time on them, because you know already you're not interested in just being a dance partner. So it's kind of like you've got to move on from that, do you know what I mean? And move on from them, again, go next. So it's really important that when you're dating, you put boundaries in place. Do you have your idea of what you'll tolerate, won't tolerate, and you'll have an idea of what you'll enjoy and not enjoy. Like I've consciously decided that I will allow guys to kiss me outside of a relationship, which is a very, very big step for me. Heather, it was funny about a guy who said online he was in love with you. Lots of BS for sure, Sandra. Oh, which guy was that? I get it regularly. It's like when when I was very naive person for a lot of years, right? When a guy said he loved me, I actually believed him. When I first met a guy, too many, exactly, Heather, I agree with you. So I always used to be very naive, and I used to take things at face value from every guy I came into contact with, right? And these guys would say, I love you straight away, right? And I would literally believe them. For years I did that. It's only like when I've smartened up over the last, like, I don't know, 18 months, 2 years, that I've realized that these guys, they just say that just for words. It's meaningless, unless a guy's been with you for a very, very long time and actually become really good best friends with you and has a right to say I love you and knows you and you know them, then it's different. But do you know what I'm saying? So this guy in the club's going, I love you. And I thought in my head, yes, you love being with me in this moment. Great. Because that's what I always think now. I never start thinking you love me. I just literally always change it around very quickly. As, yes, you love spending time with me because I'm good fun to be with. Yes, you love dancing with me because even though I'm asexual, I'm very sexy at dancing. Yeah, you're having a great time. And that's just what I put in my mind. Only kiss I get is from my dogs. Oh, bless you. Well, yes, Ray, but it's only because I go out clubbing. I wasn't getting any kisses, was I? I wasn't getting kisses. I don't have to let them kiss me. It's up to me what I do. I can just walk off if I don't want to kiss them. I don't want to kiss everyone in there, obviously. There's lots of guys that don't want to kiss. But I'm very specific about the type of guys I kiss. Like, even kissing the Bangladesh guy, letting him kiss me. At first, I didn't know whether I was going to or not. Because I'm like, do I want this or don't I want this? I was actually thinking. I'm consciously aware of myself. That's how I'm very different to some people. I'm consciously in my thoughts. I'm thinking all the time, like, do you want this to happen, Sandra? Because usually you only like Indian guys to kiss, but then you used to kiss, other foreign guys. And maybe you should try kissing a different foreign guy because you haven't kissed another foreign guy for a long time. And it might be good for you. You might really like it. It might be fun for you, right? And it's good to test that out because, before you settle down and get really serious about someone, before Mr. Right comes along, like I said, you kind of meet quite a lot of the people that are wrong for you. But you can use those people. I don't mean use them as in a nasty way, although they'll probably use us in a nasty way anyway. But, you can use those people like a type of experiment, to find out what you like and what you don't like, to find out what you're comfortable with and not comfortable with, to find out different types of kissing, different types of scenarios. That's what I'm doing. I'm using the experience now as a learning curve for me. I'm like, you've got to be detached, Sandra. I need to learn the art of detachment, right? Because I used to get attached to guys very, very quickly, as you know from watching me on this channel. Very quickly. I can't be like that. It's not healthy for me. It's not good for me. I don't want to get in that position again. So actually, by kissing guys that I'm never going to have anything more to do with in my life, probably, unless they pop up there and then I don't know what I do. I'd have to decide at the time. I'd either have to consciously be aware and decide what I would do if I bumped into them when they crop back up, or I would have to decide at the time in my own thoughts whether I. It'd be so funny if they all turned up at the same time, though. I kind of love that. Fight over me, guys! I'm asexual. You won't get a sex out of me. It's so funny. Because I think I said to you that this guy, Bangladeshi guy that kissed me, as far as I know, he works for the guy who's the Indian guy, the hypersexual. He works in his restaurant, so he must be his boss. As far as I understand from what he was saying, I mean, he didn't know that I danced with his boss. But I thought if you show a picture of me on your phone to your boss, he'll recognise me if it's the same guy. Because I think he worked, because he's going, oh, I work at this Indian restaurant. Do you know it? And he said where it was. And I'm thinking, I'm pretty sure that's the restaurant that the other guy owns that's a hypersexual. The hypersexual has never kissed me on the lips. Never kissed me on the lips. So I don't think he wants to. I don't know if that's too intimate for him or if he just wants a dance partner. I don't know. But he's a hypersexual one that gets too hypersexual, really. But he's very good looking. Very nice to look at. But yeah, he doesn't really, he's the one that's always behind me. It gets boring for me after a while. But yeah, so giving myself permission to kiss outside a relationship was a big deal for me. But I want to learn. I want to go there to this club and I want to learn. I want to learn about young foreign guys, the way they behave, the way they act, the way they tell the truth, the way they don't tell the truth, because I need to be more intelligent. I need to be more aware of what they're up to. I need to help develop and grow my relationship dating and my truth and intuition skills, right? I'm not going to get that if I just sit at home not doing anything about it, and I do love kissing. It's about damn time I had some kissing. I'm sick of, to be quite honest with you, being on asexual dating sites and no, the person's not coming along that's fine, and that's fine, but I do get sick of the fact that I've got no one to kiss, because I do adore kissing. And so I'm thinking, why deny yourself the pleasure that you enjoy, Sandra? Why deny yourself that anymore, right? Because I don't want, it's not just about denying my pleasure in that way, though. It's about the fact I don't want to, every time I kiss a guy, ever at all, want to end up in a relationship with him, because he's not going to be the right guy for me just because I kiss him. But up until this point in my life, I've always thought that every guy I kiss, if I kiss them once, that's it, I should be in a relationship. Because really, in my heart and my mind, I prefer to be in a relationship kissing. I've always thought it's a bit, I have kissed occasionally outside a relationship. Well, obviously I've kissed when dating, but what usually happens is I meet a guy out, like clubbing or somewhere, usually clubbing, go on a date, we kiss, and that's it. As far as I'm concerned, I'm meant to be in a relationship with him. This is what's happened in my mind for years. I've got to break this habit because he's kissed me. And it's to me, kissing's very, very intimate. So it's kind of like he shouldn't be doing that unless he wants a relationship with me, right? But that's wrong, because it's not the reality. It's what I would ideally like, but it's not the reality. If I think that about all these guys, I'm going to end up keep getting hurt over and over again. And in life, we have to learn from lessons. And if we keep repeating the same thing keeps going wrong, it's because we haven't learned the lesson. So I need to learn lessons. I need to be strong. I need to be brave and bold. I need to kiss different types of guys. I need to get used to the different types of kissing they do, where I like it, where I don't like it. I need to get used to really being around younger foreign guys again, and kissing them and being very self-assured, being very powerful, being very confident. Obviously some guys I'm not going to touch with a barge pole, because if I feel too scared, my intuition says no, get away from him. I'm not going to go near him, right? I'm not talking about being stupid. I'm not talking about kissing every single guy that I come into contact with, or every single guy that wants to kiss me. That's not going to happen ever, right? But what I'm saying is when I feel that I'm able to be comfortable enough in that scenario, it's good for me. I've got a lot of stuff to learn in the relationship and dating world, and I believe that I need to hone up on my detachment skills. I need to not be emotionally so attached, even this Bangladeshi guy, even in, it's weird. It's not just me that does this. There's a lot of people that naturally do it. Even in my head, I'm like thinking, oh, just say you're sorry and just apologize and come clean and just be all good and really want to start dating me, because that's like the fairy tale, isn't it? It's not the reality of what this guy's like. He's a liar. But the fairy tale, the heartstring, the emotional, the romantic side is saying, oh, but maybe he'll just say, I'm really sorry, Sandra. Yeah, I get why you're not really speaking to me much, because I've been a bit of an asshole, I do like sex, you are right, but when I'm in your company, obviously I'm not going to do that. And yeah, I do drink alcohol, but out of respect for you, I appreciate you don't drink it. That's really cool. I think you're really good for not doing that. So I didn't do it. Something like that. And he's like, oh, that date, I said about going on, I'm still really interested in you, love to date you on Monday, let's make a date. That is the fairy tale outcome that would be the best fairy tale outcome in that scenario. The best outcome actually would be to not be with a guy like that at all, who's a liar in the first place, because you can never really trust a guy like that anyway. But if he was to rectify himself and recover from the lies very quickly in the early stages, that's something like he could have done, but he never did that, right? And so, even though I knew, like, the part of me that's the intelligent, more adult side and more detached side will be going, this guy's no good for you, move on, say next, get rid of him, block, like Heather said about blocking him, but the other part of me is like, well, what if he's available to dance again? What if he turns up? What if you just want to kiss? What if you want to dance with him again, Sandra? And then it's like, but you're not supposed to do that, because if you do that, then you're basically telling him that he can carry on walking all over you, because you've already told him that you're not interested in him, because he's not good enough for you, basically. So what are you doing? And then this scenario plays out in my head a lot after that. And then I kind of get a bit blurry and like, and the only reason it's blurry is because obviously I do have some little feelings for this guy. If I had no feelings for him and was detached, this type of thing wouldn't happen usually, if he was really, really detached. So I have to learn that I've got to be with different types of guys that are not going to be in my future. To be honest, I believe that when my career takes off a lot more, which should be next year, that I'll get a really good guy for me in the end. All these guys that I'm seeing at the club, they're great, but they're not long-term commitment-minded guys. They're just not. And it might not even be in my city that I find him. It might be likely in London, probably at a business seminar or some spiritual stuff, because, like when you are like a higher level of intelligence, I mean, obviously there's intelligent people on this channel now watching, but well, obviously when you're around, like, I find a lot of the heterosexuals and sexuals in general, some of them lead quite a superficial life, they're not really thinking in intelligent terms. Asexuals can tend to think like more intelligent terms, and we've got other things on our mind other than sex, so we've kind of already by default got kind of like more advanced mind in that way, if you know what I mean. And so, I need someone who's intelligent, into business, spirituality, who wants to develop, grow himself. I'm probably not going to find that type of guy realistically in that club, right? And I'm probably not even going to find him necessarily in Exeter, right? I probably have to go to some event in the future, like a business event, and I'll probably meet him there when my life's attuned to his. Because at the moment, my financial situation is not where it should be at. My career is not where it should be at. But when I come up to that level, then I will probably attract the guy I'm meant to attract, will be at that level at the same time. If I'm not at that level at the moment, I can't really attract him, because like attracts like, right? So I'm not gonna, if I'm not in that vibe at the moment, then I'm not going to attract him. But obviously, that guy could possibly be a heterosexual guy, but a very, very spiritually connected heterosexual guy that doesn't actually need sex, that's very intelligent, and the sex is not that important for him. There is possibility there could be a few guys out there. I'm not saying that there's not a sexual guy out there. There might be an asexual guy hopefully out there. There's got to be somewhat asexual entrepreneurs somewhere. Do you know what I mean? Not just me. So yeah, I think that might be happening. But obviously, this point in my life is where I'm at now. I feel that I do need to go out clubbing more. I feel like I'm meant to be there though. So I feel if the guy I'm meant to be with is in Exeter, he'll go to that club, I think. There's something about that club that I have to keep going to. I don't know if it's the lessons I'm learning, the kissing I'm getting, or if it's a mixture of like kissing I'm getting, lessons I'm learning, and eventually I will find the right guy there. Maybe he'll turn up with his mate. He might not even be coming to go there dancing. He might turn up with a friend. I don't know. But if I want to be with younger foreign guy anyway, I need to actually be in that environment. You need to test out things in your life. If you say you want something, how do you know you really want it unless you test it out? You've got to test it out and try it. And if it's no good for you, then you can take a different path, right? But at least you tried. So, it's different for me kissing outside of a relationship, like properly agreeing to that and consciously doing it for a long periods of time, you know? And so, you know, with a view to maybe never ever having a relationship at all with these guys, never seeing them again, that's very different for me. It's very casual. In some ways, it's not, but it's passionate casual, and it's not really what I'm used to, you know? But in life, there's things that you've got to do to challenge yourself and get yourself out of your comfort zone and do what you think's right for you. I think at the moment this is the right thing for me to do. I think I need to go to that club more because it's very good for my body, very good for my physicality, you know? My body's starting to feel a lot better since I've been going there more. My confidence improves, you know, and you know, you can like, you know, I can experiment a bit more with the guys there. Do you know what I mean? And at the moment, you know, I seem to be like, in terms of like kissing, a heterosexual guy seems to be more suited to me than asexual guy, because asexual guys, there's no one on the scene that is even remotely interested, that likes passionate kissing. That's the age group I like. Do you know what I mean? The younger foreign age group I like. This is just not happening. So I have to, you know, like if the only way I can get the type of kissing I want at the moment is by kissing heterosexuals, I'm willing and able to do that because I don't want to be craving the kissing anymore. I'm fed up of craving the kissing, because when I crave the kissing, I crave a relationship all the time. I don't want to be craving a relationship all the time because I don't actually need a relationship. The only thing I need is the kissing, because I'm just quite addicted to kissing and I just love kissing, you know? And it's kind of like I haven't done that much kissing really since I split up with my ex. Do you know what I mean? In 2011. That's like well, nearly 8 years ago. Do you know what I mean? Like, well, 9 years in 2020, won't it be? So 8 years so far, 8.5, a bit, nearly. No, 8 in a few months, yeah. So anyway, no, November the 5th it was, 2011. So yeah, that's like 8 years, just over, isn't it? My maths isn't great this time of night or any night. Yeah, so you know, it's quite a lot of time for, you know, when you're in a relationship like consistently, then obviously you're getting more kisses consistently. When you're single, most of the time you're not. And I don't actually need a guy. I mean, what do I need the guy for? I'm quite self-sufficient. I've got my own place. I've had it for a long time. Buy my own food, cook it, even though I'm not keen on cooking. Wash my own clothes, live my own life, have a great time. Do you know what I mean? I don't need a guy for anything. But kissing is about the only thing I actually feel remotely like I might need a guy for, because there's only so much you can kiss yourself, right? And I love kissing. It just feels good, like a hobby. You know, when you've got a favourite hobby, you just kind of want to practice it more and do more about it, don't you? Do you know what I mean? So, you know, I think that's the way to go. I don't feel bad about doing that because I think it's right for me. I feel it's good for me. And it's really nice to just be getting the guys that I usually am attracted to attracted back to me. You know, it feels really good. It's like, yeah, I'm back where I'm supposed to be in terms of young foreign guys finding me really aesthetically and attractive and all the rest of it. Well, I find them aesthetically attractive. They find me hot, sexy, or whatever they do. But you know, it's kind of like nice to be back like that again. It's kind of shocking in a way because obviously in 2014, when I found out I was asexual, I couldn't even date guys again back then. You know, I used to wet myself nearly every time I was around a guy. But do you know what the difference is? In some ways, the difference is I'm not actually specifically looking to get into a relationship with these guys. I'm not going dancing with them and getting close to them to actually thinking I'm going to end up in a relationship with you, because I don't actually think that. In the airy fairy romantic side of me, part of me thinks, oh, is this guy going to be suitable for a relationship? Possibly. But in the realism terms, it's quite good because it is less anxious for me, because it's like I can set my boundaries, I can get the kissing I want, and I can just like get my taxi home, which I always do. Like this guy, the Bangladesh guy, to be fair to him, he did say to me, do you want to get a kebab? You know, do you want to get something to eat? And I said no, because I got my taxi later. But you know what I mean? Like one of my exes did ask me to do that. I used to go to a kebab house, but obviously I don't want to be going out with a guy outside that environment because it's safe for me in that environment. You know, I don't want to be going to kebab house because then it's like, where else do you go from there? You know what I mean? I'm not going to do that. You know, I've got my taxi book. So the good thing is I got my taxi book. So whatever happens, you know, they can do what they like or say what they like. You know, one of the other guys before, which I wasn't interested in, he kept on about, oh, shall we go out here and go out there? I'm like, no, I've got a taxi booked, you know? So it's kind of like I've already got in my head from the very beginning that I'm not going to be staying with them. I'm not going to be seeing them afterwards unless they choose to see me on a proper date afterwards. And then, but that kind of makes me really nervous. That's the bit that makes me nervous, not the kissing in front of everyone, which most people would be nervous about. I mean, I was nervous, like with the Bangladeshi guy in the beginning. I was a bit worried, about, like intimidated, I would say is more the word, because he had this aura about him that was very strong and powerful and very like sexual without being too sexual. I don't know how to describe it, because lately I've been able to be around sexuals and not feel their sexual attraction, which I always used to feel. This is why it's kind of weird as well. Like, I've noticed I'm not getting aroused when I'm kissing them. And also, like, I usually get aroused from the kissing. And also, I'm not feeling their sexual attraction towards me, even though clearly they are. The only guy I do that I feel that with is a heterosexual hypersexual. I do feel him being sexually attracted to me, I guess. With him, it's a bit different. But the last two, they definitely must have been sexually attracted to me, because one was going on about me being hot. And, and the other one's trying to turn me on. So they must be sexually attracted to me, but I'm not picking that energy up like I used to. And that used to scare the hell out of me. And because I don't know if it's because I tell them, I'm not interested in sex, and I'm just so strong in that way that they agree, and that's it. And we don't have to worry about that anymore for the rest of the night, even though I have to watch their hands, because they will always try and push boundaries, because that's what heterosexuals tend to do. They tend to try to push your boundaries all the time, even if you put them in place. It's kind of like the naughty schoolboy type of scenario, is it? Trying to do something that you're told not to do and told off. It makes it more exciting to them. Do you know what I mean? But I just feel like it's really good for me to go to the club, because I love the music. I feel really at one with my soul. I'm around younger guys where I'm meant to be, I feel a lot more healthier and happier there, when I'm dancing my own for long periods of time as well. But isn't it interesting that I can just literally attract the guys that come zooming in on me are the ones that I actually would like to dance with and kiss? That's a really beautiful, intuitive skill to have. Do you know what I mean? It's like I'm getting the right guys, if I'm going to kiss, that I want to kiss. So it's really good in that way, even though they've got facial hair, which is not what I usually go for. But I'm learning. Do you know what I mean? I'm learning to kiss a guy with some facial hair. And so far, it's not been bad, actually. Maybe it's because their facial hair isn't like an explosive bush on their face or something. But and it's tolerable, and I'm so busy kissing, I don't really notice, apart from the beginning when I feel it, and the rest of the time I don't feel it. But usually, so yeah, that's really interesting. Do you know what I mean? But I think it's very good to be consciously aware of stuff. And when you are, it's kind of weird. Like, I think it's weird lately that I'm not getting aroused at all by the kissing. It's kind of like there's nothing there. And I'm like, am I going to get bored with kissing eventually? Is that ever going to happen with me? I can't imagine it would, but you never know. Because it's kind of like, I do get bored very easy with things. And I'm like, if I'm not experiencing any arousal, and I think part of the enjoyment of kissing was probably the arousal and excitement, I'm thinking, am I going to still be interested in it? But I clearly am, because I still can't keep going on it. I still can't keep going on about it. Yeah, that's right words to use. So clearly I do like it. But I think in life, you have to come to the conclusion that when you're dating, you do say next. So I have to just know that there's probably going to be a lot of guys that I'm going to be dancing with and kissing over the next 12 months. The 2020, do you know what I mean? It's like, oh my gosh, how many am I going to kiss? Do you know what I mean? It's going to be very interesting, I think. You know what I mean? And, sometimes it's just good to get out of your comfort zone and try different things and test yourself. And you know what I mean? Like, I keep testing myself, for any sexual attraction remotely whatsoever. And so far it just come back nil, diddly squat, nothing. But it's like a really conscious nothing. It's not just like I'm telling myself nothing. It's like, you definitely don't. I just don't feel it. I keep feeling like I'm a wooden clog. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing there. You tap on it, it's just hollow. I don't know. Well, a wooden clog's hollow. I don't know. But it's just like you tap on it. It's a piece of wood. It doesn't do anything. Not a tree, because a tree's alive. It's just a dead piece of wood that's been cut off or something. It's just weird. Very weird feeling. I'd be interested to know how other asexuals feel in this position, but I guess most asexuals wouldn't go around kissing highly heterosexual guys in clubs for like an hour or more at a time, or whatever I do. Do you know what I mean? Most people couldn't do that. It takes guts, I guess, to be able to do that and to kiss in front of people. But I'm so used to it, and I just don't give a toss what people think. I just enjoy the moment. Life's too short. Do you know what I mean? One of this customers I had today, he thought I was mid 20s to late 20s and birth certificate age. That's what he thought I was, which is great. But he kept going on about, what's your real birth certificate age then? Do you know what I mean? And he kept going on and on about it. He was a customer. And I'm like, well, if it's going to give me more sales in the future from you, maybe I'll just tell you. But I hated it. I don't like giving my birth certificate age out because it's nothing like who I am. I really hate it. I don't like it at all. It's not who I am. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like someone saying, it's like kind of a guy saying they're a girl. Do you know what I mean? When they don't want to be a girl. It's just horrible. It just really grates me. I hate it because I'm just not that person. If I could legally change my birth certificate age, I 100% would. I would just go for it. I wouldn't hesitate. I would go for it because I'm so fed up with people when they find out my birth certificate age. They just like change the way they speak to me, and they just they talk to me like I'm that age when I'm not. I know that sounds a bit contradictory, but I'm not that age. I may be an age on a piece of paper. That's not who I am in my soul and my being and my life. It just doesn't. It's not me. In the past, it would have been me because I was very old when I was young. But that's the past me. That's not the current me, the now me. Because I said to this guy, yeah, 20s is great. That's what I am in my mind and the way I live my lifestyle. But he just kept going on about, oh, he kept trying to guess my real birth certificate age, but he might be a customer buying more stuff from me in the future. So I kind of told him I hated doing it. I couldn't even get the words out. I had to say the numbers. And then I just felt horrible afterwards because then he did start treating me like other people do. And I hate that. Oh, you get it, Heather. Thank you. I just hate it because as soon as I told him, it's just the way he completely changed. I can feel the energy. I can feel the aura. I can feel like he's talking to me like I'm my birth certificate age. And I'm like, no, I'm really not that age. Just don't speak to me like that age. It feels horrible. It just feels disgusting. It's like, I'm not that. I know it's a piece of paper that I've got, but that's all it is to me. Just one piece of paper I cannot change for the life of me. Do you know what I mean? I just can't do it legally. It's just impossible for a person in my situation to be able to legally change their birth certificate age. But, I'd love it if they could. I really would love that. I'd love to do that. I really would go and do it legally if I could and pay a solicitor to do it because I just can't stand it. It just drives me up the wall, drives me up the wall and crazy. It's like I'm not that person. You may want to think I'm that person, but I'm not. It's insulting, yeah. Well, it is to me because I just honestly I don't believe I'm that birth certificate age. I look at it and I laugh at it. I can understand why I would have been that in the past because I was old in the past, but I'm not old anymore. I'm not that age anymore, and I just, when I go to the club, I'm around guys. Most of the people there are 19 years old upwards, so like they're early mid-20s, and the majority. Maybe there's some in their older 20s, but the majority, they're all like really the type of age I like hanging around with. I do keep attracting more 19-year-olds lately. I've noticed that 18, 19-year-olds. Do you know what I mean? Not that I don't want that age. 21 and up's good. 19's a bit too young, really, to be serious, because they don't know what they want at that age. It's a bit young, and some of them look way too young when they're 19. They look much younger than that. It's like, no, I can't date a child. Do you know what I mean? No, I don't mean that insultingly, but I don't want to date someone or be with someone who does look like a kid. That would just be gross. So I'm not into kids. I'm into guys. So 21 and upwards is much better for me. It depends how obviously how the 21-year-old looks as well. If you look really too young, but most 21-year-olds are okay. It's just under that, it's a bit dodgy, I think. But yeah, so I'm glad you find it. You understand me, Heather. It is very insulting to me, because it's just the way they switch. As soon as I say something, just switch, But I just don't like saying it. But yeah, so to conclude, obviously this video, when you are looking at dating relationships, it's very important to get into the mindset of saying the four-letter word next. And this is something we're not used to doing as a society. And especially when you see a lot of the videos and films and movies and stuff on TV even, you've all got this idealized scenario that you fall massively in love and end up spending the rest of your life with that one person. And that's the vision I've had for years of my life. But obviously, clearly, it's not been very good. That type of conditioning in the brain is actually not good because it gears you towards thinking that every single person that comes your way is going to be right for you, and that you should just like get with a person because you know you're meant to be with the one you're meant to be with. It just turns up in your life, and that's clearly not really realistic and true. Most of the people that you come across in your life aren't going to be right for you. So you should be saying the word next, and you should be thinking, yeah, if you ever do get physical with someone, it probably won't last. And that's something I never thought about years ago, because I didn't want to get physically close to anyone who I wasn't in a relationship with, because I found that very hurtful. It's like, I don't want to get intimate with someone. I feel like someone's cheated on me or ripped my life apart. But, you know, like now I'm in this situation I am in, I feel like more like I don't really need a guy in my life. You know, the only thing I miss is the kissing, and I'm doing it consciously so I don't get hurt, you know, because I've told myself I'm allowed to do that and it's okay. I trust myself and I'm allowing myself to do that, and it's okay because I've already pre-agreed with an arrangement with myself that I'm able to do that and I'm comfortable with it. So I think that's what you have to do sometimes. I think you have to have a pre-arrangement agreement with yourself of what you allow yourself to do, you know? Because I think sometimes we can be so hard on ourselves and we don't give ourselves any leeway, you know. So I think, you know, like life's a journey of discovery, and I think you have to, you know, have prior conversations, agreements with yourself. Sorry, my internet was playing up. Hopefully it's back on properly now. Oh, there was a person gone on and off, so I presume that was you, Sam. Yeah, so I've got pre-agreement with myself now, I was saying, and I feel a lot better for doing that, you know, because in the past, I always throughout my life, up until recently, I always would believe that if you're physically intimate with someone, you should spend the rest of your life with that person. I think it's wrong to do that and not be with the person. I still kind of think that to a certain extent, but that's not the realistic situation, you know. And some dating coaches are right that in films they do portray the idealistic scenario that a lot of the time in reality simply isn't true, and it can be quite damaging because you're basically thinking that every person that comes along you're just going to be Mr. Right or Mrs. Right or them right. I have a similar mindset. I need to learn too. Yeah, me and you, Sam, are very similar. Very similar. We need to find the equivalent of me and you in a guy. One that's attracted to guys and one that's attracted to women. But you know, I do need to learn, because I always have the idealism that, you know, this guy, you know, going to come into my life, I'm going to fall madly in love with him. He's only going to want me and have eyes for me, and we're going to live happily ever after, and blah blah blah. I mean, that'd be great, wouldn't it? I still kind of have that hope a little bit. I'd be lying if I said I didn't. You know, I am quite a big romantic, as you know. Awesome, Sam and Sandra. Thank you. You know, I am a romantic, but I need to learn. There's stuff I obviously need to learn because I keep getting hurt and I keep attaching to guys too quickly still. I mean, even the British guy this year that I was with for 3 weeks, right? I got attached to him very, very, very quickly. Very, very quickly, you know, because I do kind of experience emotional connection very quickly. And I do get attracted very quickly. So by me actually, we'll find them, Sandra. Oh, thank you. Yeah, we will find them eventually. I believe that. I think my guy might be in London. If he's not in Exeter, he's going to be in London. I know that. I'm pretty dead certain. He's either in Exeter or he's in London. And he's into business IT, and I'm probably might meet him at a seminar or business thing, I think. I'm not sure. But, you know, like, you never know. If I'm in London, I might go to a singles night and risk it. You know, because I'm quite bold and brave, aren't I? And all I'd be doing at singles nights is going on and on about, oh, by the way, I'm an asexual. I do this for asexuals. This is what asexual is. I'd just end up being educating them all the time about asexuality. Probably wouldn't get anywhere with the dating. I'd just be too busy like telling everyone I saw, this is asexuality. This is what it is. I do this YouTube channel, blah, blah, blah. And it would be more like a lecture than a date, I think. Do you know what I mean? To be like, yes, let's be single, mingle, and tell everyone I'm asexual. How many people's here in person? Let me go. Let me educate them all. It's really, really good. Because now when I'm in the sexual dating group, UK singles, whenever I usually say hello to someone in the group now, I'm usually what was it? I said it tonight that I said, oh, you know, I'm Sandra, but my iPad's gone dead now. See if my phone. Sorry, I've got to lean over and see my phone. Hang on a minute. It's on charging. I don't know if it's. Oh, is it charged yet? I might have another customer actually because I've got more messages. I've been so busy today. I keep getting customers. Oh, first of all, I've got a message from someone. Oh my god! I'm glad I'm still on the live stream because guess who's text messaged me? Guess who's text messaged me? What did I tell you? What I tell you, what's to betting he'll message me and say about meeting up tomorrow. Right? What's to bet? And look. Hi, tomorrow I'm off. Right? Look. Hi, tomorrow I'm my day off. Yeah, the Bangladeshi guy. What was I just saying about him? What was I just saying? Hi, tomorrow my day off. I'm actually going to message him back this time. And I'm going to say to him, well, I can't see you tomorrow. It's too late because you didn't prior arrange it. That's what I'm going to do. More like tomorrow I do English lesson. Yeah. So I haven't responded to him for days, right? I'm going to actually respond to him live now. So we'll see how it goes, right? Because he's just messaged me at 23:07. Hi, tomorrow my day off. Like, he hasn't arranged anything, right? I'm going to put, well, I am busy now tomorrow, which is the truth. Because I have a customer in the morning. Bang on for sure. Bullshit for sure, right? But didn't I tell you? I told you because this is what happens, because I do a lot of watching of dating coaches. This is what happens, right? A guy expects you to be, I'm not talking about the guys on here. I'm talking about in the heterosexual dating world. They expect you to be at the beck and call, right? They need to learn that if you're a quality person, you're not going to drop your plans for them, right? So he needs to learn that I'm not going to, either I don't respond to him at all, but I think I should use him as a bit of an experiment because I need to get used to being a more high value woman and a high quality person. And either I don't speak to him now, or I just literally tell him the fact that, well, I am busy now. And you know, if you want to, what this guy said, the dating guy said, is you can turn around and say to a guy, you're going to have to work harder if you want to get with me, if you want to be with me, you're going to have to work harder than this, which I thought was quite funny. So what I'll probably do is when he puts hi, tomorrow my day off, I'm just going to put I'm busy now. I've already made plans because you didn't make any with me. And if you're really interested in me, you'll work a lot harder than this. Tell him that you're busy. I have plans for friends. No, I've actually got customers. I've actually got a customer coming tomorrow. And I'll have more customers. It's my busiest time of year at the moment. So I've got a customer tomorrow. So I can't see him anyway. You know, I'm going to be busy all day tomorrow and Christmas Eve. I'm going to be busy, you know? So I'm not going to lie. I'm going to tell him the damn truth that I am busy, which is true. Awesome. Exactly. So let me do it while I'm on air because I haven't spoke to him for 1, 2, 3, 4 days, right? So I could have not spoken, but I want to do this as an experiment because I think some people come into your life to teach you lessons and for you to learn from, right? So either I cut him off completely or carry on ignoring him, don't talk to him, or I do some of the stuff that the dating coaches say and see what his reaction is and to learn from it. So I think we'll do this live on air. Why not? Because this is asexualized, my asexual life. So what I'm going to put is I am busy now tomorrow because you didn't make plans in hang on a minute didn't make plans or didn't make plans will he understand this English? Didn't make plans to see me already. No, how can I put it? I'm busy now tomorrow because you didn't make plans to see me in advance. So now I have work and customers. I have work and customers. If you are seriously interested in me, bear in mind he's lied to me about alcohol and sex, so it isn't a good guy really. Anyway, if you're seriously interested in me, you will, let me put this, have to work harder than that. Work harder than that. Let's just try this. Why not? It's important we learn these things, right? So I've given him 2 different things. I am busy now tomorrow because you didn't make plans to see me in advance. So now I have to work and have customers to see, which is the truth, and have customers to see. If you are seriously interested in me, you will have to work harder than that. Right, let me send that off now. We'll see what happens, shall we? Because this is asexualized, my asexual life, so why not? And let's do some experimenting with this guy. Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, he's not telling me the truth, so it'll be quite interesting to see what he comes back with, right? But wasn't that interesting? Because in the dating, in the dating, they say if a guy's really, really keen on you, he will keep pursuing you, he'll keep messaging you. And what a guy will do is if he doesn't value your worth, he'll think that you'll drop the plans for him. But a lot of guys don't value women's worth at the beginning because they're so used to getting away and walking all over a woman that they're used to doing that, right? So the only way you can show your value and that you're different to other women is by saying no. By saying the word no. And that I watched this whole video the other day about saying no, about women don't usually say no, they usually roll over for a guy, and that's why the guys treat them badly, right? Which is a bit like, it's not the woman's fault, is it? But you know what I mean? They're kind of saying, well, you shouldn't encourage them to treat you badly. You should have boundaries and values and standards in place. And you should say to the guy, no, I'm busy. I've made plans now. So, you know, and I could say with my friends, but that would be lying. Well, it wouldn't be in the sense I do this live stream. So I have got obviously friends to see every night, which is great. So it's not totally lying, is it? But you know, I'm telling him the truth about work because I did say to him, I said, I work all the time. Unless I've booked the time off work, I work all the time. And if he's not even bothering to listen to that, then it's his problem, isn't it? So we will see, like, hi, tomorrow, my day off. And I put, I'm busy now. Yeah, I'll just go over what I wrote. I'm busy now tomorrow because you didn't make plans to see me in advance. So now I have to work. So now I have work and have customers to see. If you're seriously interested in me, you will have to work harder than that. There we go. 2 things in once. Can he cope with me messaging 2 things? You know what I'll message back now, don't you? Hi, how are you? How was your day today? What's the betting he messages that? Because that's what he was pretty much messaging all the rest of the time. Hi, how are you? Are you out tonight? Hi, how are you? How's your day? Do you know what I mean? The same repetitive stuff all over. But then he said he understood one of the texts, so he's just playing dumb. Do you know what I mean? Some of these guys just play dumb. Right, but he's got a message from me now. 1, 2, 3, 4 days later. So I wonder what his excuse will be. He'll just probably ask me how I am, and completely if he carries on the pattern that he's been doing with all the other messages, it will just be the same thing. Hi, how are you? And just completely ignore what I'm talking about, which is going to get him nowhere. So he can just carry on, because if he carries on like that, then I shall just ignore him for the next few days again. Do you know what I mean? So he'll just get fed up with it in the end. One way or the other, he'll get fed up with it. Do you know what I mean? So it just makes me laugh. I mean, it's nice if he says, I got the day off tomorrow, if you want to spend with me. But do you know, it's just because he says he's got the day off tomorrow, he hasn't actually asked to see me. We have to be right about this. Just because, you see, I'm assuming it means he wants to see me, but he said, hi, tomorrow, my day off. That doesn't mean to say he wants to see me, does it? That's what he is implying, that he wants to see me, but that's not what it actually says. So I didn't need to actually definitely respond to that, because it's like, and you've got the day off tomorrow, so what? What's it got to do with me? Do you know what I mean? Because he's not made plans. He's still in that text. He didn't say, did he? Hi, my day's off tomorrow. Can you see me? Like you wanted to originally, or anything like that. There's nothing in there. So I've assumed that it means he wants to see me, but that's not what we actually asked. So we have to be careful to know he didn't actually ask me that, you know? But it'll be interesting to see if he comes back with anything. Very, very interesting, you know? But I'll probably not speak to him for a number of days again. Do you know what I mean? So, you know what I'm saying? It'll just be like, you know, I won't speak to him for another few days. But, you know, we may as well do some experimenting while we're here. Zeda's he's obviously not telling the truth about the smoking sex, but we'll see how it goes. It'll just be interesting. Research is great. Exactly, Martin. I need to do some research. I need to understand some things. And obviously, up until this point in my life recently, I've always like had the mindset as soon as I start kissing a guy, I've got to be in a relationship. It's wrong not to do. It's wrong to kiss outside a relationship. But by allowing myself to kiss outside a relationship, well, it's my oyster, in it, because it means I can kiss as many guys as I want. Don't have to be in a relationship with any one of them. And that's probably the best thing for me for quite a while, because I don't need a guy. And it's good not to need a guy. You should never need to be in a relationship, because if you need to be with someone, you're reliant on them for your own happiness. If you're reliant on someone else for your own happiness, they can take it away in the blink of an eye. The blink of an eye. I learnt that a while ago, that if you're a person that invests your happiness, basically your happiness is invested in other people. Your happiness lies with other people, right? A tag game for sure, Heather. Yeah. So basically, if you invest your happiness in other people, right, and the other person all of a sudden turns around and upsets you, or doesn't want to see you anymore, or says something horrible to you, your happiness is over there with them. You've given them all your power, right? They've got all your power. They can take it away in the blink of an eye. This is why you've got to be so super strong in this life and train yourself over and over again in different case scenarios and situations to become a stronger person. Because, like, by actually kissing lots of different foreign guys now, I'm getting my kissing needs met. I'm getting to kiss younger foreign guys that I feel really good about, because I like that age group. I'm attracted to them a lot. But they can go back to their place. I can go back to mine. I can get a taxi home. I can never see them again. So I'm learning to detach more from them. And, and I'm not going around thinking, oh, God, what's he thinking? Got to be in a relationship. Or, to be honest, it's good sometimes that I'm not even dating the guy afterwards, because the dating bit is a bit that makes me really anxious, right? If I was going to actually meet this guy tomorrow, I'd have been really, really anxious about it. It would have probably made me ill, to be honest, because I'll be so nervous, because obviously he's a sexual guy. And in a club, you've got, like I said, I'm really feeling good because there's security guards around me. It's a very public place. It's, like, although some people might be like, oh, I couldn't kiss in public, I couldn't do that stuff, it's actually safer for me to do it in that environment. I'm not down some back alley. I'm not in the middle of a shopping precinct down some road or something. I'm actually in a safer environment. I feel safe there because I know my taxi, I can get home. The taxis are very good there. I know the security guards are very good. I feel safe. So for me, it's a very, very good environment for me to be in, to do that. It's safe and secure. If I go on a date, I've then got the open road of anything happening. Do you know what I mean? He could take me anywhere and go anywhere with me. Obviously, I'm not going to let him take me anywhere and go anywhere, but there are certain places that we might go to that I'm not used to. Although I'm out of my comfort zone, I don't, kind of like places that are not necessarily good to be in alone when you don't know someone that well. Do you see what I'm saying? So I would have been more nervous, but actually the fact that he was a bit of a twat, excuse my language, and just, and not being honest, and not even arranging a date, in the end it worked out in my favour. I thought, fine, you can just carry on chasing me by text message if you want. You can just carry on messaging me, chasing after me, thinking about me every day. And you're clearly not right for me, so just carry on doing that. And I'll just carry on being me at home and carry on doing my work, and I won't get anxious or nervous because I don't even have to have a date with you, and I don't have to worry about the sexual stuff. So in some ways, it actually works out in my favour if I go and snog a guy in a club and then I never see him again, or never have to see him again. Whether I see him again in the club's a different matter, but I never have to see him again because I don't have all this anxiety and relationship anxiety stuff going on, because there is no relationship. There's no potential relationship going to happen. So it kind of like, I don't have a problem then being around sexual guys, because I don't have to think about all the other anxious stuff like, oh, is he going to cheat at that? Because if I'm just snogging him for one night or for a few hours, that's it. It's over and done with. Do you know what I mean? And so in some ways, it kind of suits me better, because it's like I can still get the kissing without all the anxiety that I used to get, and I can get on with my work, and I'm not tied to any guy. I'm not getting into a situation like I was before where I'd get into a relationship with a guy very, very quickly. That's not happening. I'm learning to detach more. So I think I'm doing well. I think this is a very good thing for me. I think it's a very weird thing. I think it's very way out of my comfort zone in some ways. It's very different. It's very challenging myself. It's like saying you're allowed to do this kissing outside a relationship. My God, it's a bit weird, like it's not just a little bit. It's like you're full on allowed to do it as much as you want. It's fine. I'm here for you, It's great. Carry on, Sandra. It's no problem. I mean, I might end up enjoying being single so much that I don't ever want to be in a relationship. I wish that I might just like going around kissing guys in clubs for a long time. Well, one specific club. I mean, to say, like I don't have the anxiety that I had before, It's really good because it was the anxiety, was the dating, actually. So sometimes, really, I think that I want the dates in the case because I kind of want that to like lead somewhere in one sense, but in the other sense, I don't really. Cool idea. Thank you, Heather. I think it's good because I just think I can get the benefit of all the worlds that I want. I can get the younger foreign guys that I love to snog, and then in a safe environment, and then I can go home and get on with my work, see my friends, enjoy my life, go on my self dates, and that life could be really good for me. It could really suit me. I might get bored with it one day, but you know what I mean? I can't see me getting bored with it for quite a long time. I might just enjoy it so much that I don't ever want to be in a relationship for a very long time. I mean, what if I never want to be in one? But I can't imagine I wouldn't because I still got an Indian soulmate. I know he's out there, so I'm going to bump into him one day. He's going to turn up, right? I know I've got an Indian soulmate. It's just a given. I don't know how. I know it intuitively. I know it. It's 100%. I've got this. Oh, thanks for the thumbs up. 100%. I got this Indian soulmate. So he's going to show up in my life, but maybe it's 20 years later or something. I don't know. But I hope I am ready for him by then. But, you know, I've obviously got to learn some life lessons. I've got to snog quite a lot of guys. Hopefully I'll get the other guys out of my system by then. But you know what I mean? I just think it's going to be so good for me to actually do this because I worked out that the anxiety is the actual dating stuff. It's the relationship stuff. Whereas I don't actually get that anxious with the kissing and the club. I just like enjoy it for an hour or whatever and go home. And it's like, great, I don't have to deal with you. I don't have to deal with your bullshit, excuse my language, because obviously because we're talking about heterosexuals here, we're not talking about asexuals, right? You know, like, you know, I don't have to deal with your bullshit. I don't have to deal with your lies. If I don't trust you, it doesn't matter because I just don't have anything more to do with you. I can go home to my place and not worry about you anymore, and I can just go and live my life. But I've still had a nice time, you know. Obviously, a little part of me still does get attached a bit. I'm not going to lie to you. It does. I can feel it. I can sense it. I know it does. So, you know, obviously I need to improve on that. Because I do, like, you know, like this Bangladeshi guy, the fact that he even keeps messaging me, my heart does tweak a bit. It's like, oh, he must be still really interested in me then. He's different to the other guy because obviously he must be thinking about me every day just to text me every day, apart from he didn't do it yesterday. But he might have been with another woman yesterday, right? Because he went out clubbing on Friday. But then it doesn't matter, does it? Because I'm not in a relationship with him. That's why it's better for me, you know? So I just think, you know, it's different. I'm trying it, and next year I think my career is really going to take off, right? And I don't think it's a good idea for me to have a relationship while I've got all my career stuff I need to get sorted out. But I think I still need the kissing, and I think by having the kissing, I'm not then spending hours going on ASAP. I'd still do go on ASAP, but I used to spend like kind of hours. I'm going on ASAP seeing the same people. I'm going on the asexual dating sites, whereas now I might spend just a few minutes on there going on them because I'm like, well, it doesn't matter if I can't get a relationship with an asexual guy that much at the moment because I can kiss sexual guys at the moment. You know, I can still get my physical kissing needs met. Whereas before, you kind of end up just, you know, it's these like urges like, oh, I really want to find a relationship. I really want to find a guy. And it's like, I still got that in me, but not as much. Because it's like now, it's like, it's okay, Sandra. Like, if you're in a relationship, you can't be snogging all these guys. And at the moment, you're having a whale of a time doing it. You're getting to live the life of your dreams. In the sense, you're getting to snog young foreign guys in their 20s, which is what you've always loved to do. And it feels great. And these guys really think you're gorgeous and hot back. And do you know what I mean? You've got the, you know, like you've got the type of relationship you want in that moment, as in just the snogging, they're merely interested in you, into you, and then, you know, for an hour, and then you can give them back to their whatever sexual life. It's like, here you go, like giving the baby back. Here's the baby back. Here's the sexual guy back to his sexual life. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like passing back. Bye bye for now. Bye bye for now. Go and play on your sexual rattle or whatever you want to do, because I'm not interested in that. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I think it's very different for me. I think it's very unusual, but I think it's kind of like unusual in a good way. And, you know, I think it'd be good for me to document as much as I am doing on this channel about how it's going. You know, maybe it can help some other people, you know, but I do have to learn to detach, because when I meet my Indian soulmate, he might not be asexual after all. And I'm going to have to have very strong boundaries with him. And I'm going to have to really not worry about losing him, because the best type of relationship you have is when you don't worry about losing someone. When you're that confident and strong, you're like, if the guy goes, he goes. Or if he doesn't treat you right, you walk out and leave. And because I do not want to be in a position where I do meet this Indian guy and then he starts treating me not so good, and then I stay with him because I think my destiny is to be with an Indian guy, and I'm so fixated on that I accept crap from him. Do you know what I mean? This is the case scenario I could get into, right? So I need to be the opposite. I'm going to have to get going now. Thanks for live stream. Oh, thank you, Martin. Thank you. Lovely to see you, as always. Nice to have you back on this channel. It's been a long time, hasn't it? It's nice to have you part of my ACE team here. We have quite a lot of chit chats nowadays at nights. Yeah, really nice it is. Thank you for coming. So yeah, so I just think it's really good that I'm trying all this stuff, and like, you know, it's kind of safer for you guys, because if you guys are, you know, guys, girls, when I say guys I mean every gender. I just say everyone, guys to everyone. That's the way I talk. Okay, I'm not being rude. If you think I am, sorry. But you know, it's just like, you know, I can then report back to you what my findings are, and it's kind of good to experiment with some of these things just to see how true they are. Do you know what I mean? Because unless you experiment with things and try them, you don't actually know. I mean, I wonder if he's text back. Probably not. I don't know. But let's see. Nope, no text back. Right. So yeah. So yes, I've got a customer replying to me now. I told you it's been a very busy day. You know, it's just very important. I definitely feel I'm doing the right thing. I feel I'm really happy that I'm in the clubbing environment. I'm really happy that I'm in that young environment again. It's very healthy for me. You know, for years I've been not being totally true to myself, in the sense that I have been going out with my my female friend, right, is older than me quite a bit, and she is very young for her age though. But we've been going out in groups, right? And these people are like what I would call like, maybe not in birth certificate age so older, but some of them, but you know, they're kind of older, and the whole environment's been older. I've been around older guys, and I just got to the stage this year when I've been friends with my best friend for 7 years, my best female friend. Obviously I got Sam as my best friend in this chat, my best female friend that's not asexual, you know. I didn't, you know, I haven't said anything because, you know, I want to spend time with her and see her. But, you know, this year I had to say something. I preferred to see her on her own, and the environment's too old for me. You know, the environment is too old for me. And it was really difficult saying that, because I knew I could have lost her. And I nearly did lose her, to be perfectly honest. Luckily, everything's worked out really well, and she listens to me now, and we spend time of just me and her. Because, I mean, like, I don't mind being in groups these days, but, you know, I'm not really used to being around a group of women. And also one of the women's, her husband's not very nice to me. So, well, he wasn't, you know, and he's not really that good in some ways. So I'd rather not be around him if I can help it. The only time I'm around him is because of her, really, because she's lovely. This is not my best friend. This is my best female. Sorry, my best female friend. It's not her. It's one of her friends. It's got a husband that's not a husband. They've been together so long, I think they're married, but this guy's not so great. He was not very nice to me, you know, once. So, and he's not very nice to her sometimes. So, you know, I mean, my best female friend, she moved away this year, but she's still come back and see me. And we have spent some quality time together, which is what I said to her. I'd rather spend quality time with her on her own, and then, you know, and to go out dancing on my own to the younger place that I want to. And now I'm doing that. I'm so much happier. I am much, much better, you know, because I'm getting to spend quality time with her on her own, having nice chats, really getting to spend just time, me and her. I'm not having to deal with idiotic, older sexual guys that just bore the heck out of me, that I'm not interested in, not remotely attracted to whatsoever. I don't do karaoke. My friend does it, and I was only going to watch her. Glad to hear it. That's important. Thank you, Sam. Thanks for your support as always. So, you know, so karaoke's her thing, it's not mine. And when I'm sat there for an hour, you know, it's just like, I'm not into that. The only reason I go to see it, especially in the past, was to see her, and she likes dancing a bit, but not as much as I do. She's into singing, well, I'm into dancing, you know. But I know that going to this club is just, I cannot tell you how I feel. I felt so good last time I went. Every time I go, I just feel like in that moment, nothing else matters, you know, in the sense that I'm free. I'm enjoying the music. I'm with the guys' age. I'm with the age group of people I should. Even the girls are nicer to me. Even the young girls are like 19, early 20s. Even they are a lot nicer to me there. You know, they're really welcome. Like, come dance with us a bit, you know? Have a good night to everyone. Oh, you're going now, Heather. So lovely of you to join me. Oh, thanks for the thumbs up. So do you know what I mean? It's just so good to be in that environment. I think that's what you have to do in life. You do have to take a stand. And sometimes, especially when it's a friend you've been oh, hi Harmony Smurf, I haven't seen you for ages. Nice to see you. So you know what I mean? I think you have to take a stand sometimes. You have to actually be honest to your own soul and being. And now I'm in that club, and now I'm going dancing, and I'm experiencing the joy of all the music and being around the age group I like and everything like that. I just feel so much better and happier. I feel I'm meant to go there. Do you know what I mean? You know, when something feels right for you and intuitively you just know you're meant to be there and everything feels good about it. There's nothing, I mean, there's nothing that feels bad. Even when there's guys there that I don't like, I can handle it. Do you know what I mean? I just don't go near them most of the time. So it just feels really good. It feels so good to be in that young environment because I feel like I'm young me again. You know, I'm the 21-year-old that I was meant to be. This is really who I am, not this other person. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like I can when I consciously think of the difference between being with my best female friend, which I did, you know, I do love spending time with her, and being around that type of old environment. It's just clearly it's no good for me. It's not really what I'm interested in. It's not really how I vibe. It's not really me, you know. It's like I'm being this older version of me that I used to be in the past, because when I was younger, in birth age, I used to be older. And it's really, I don't want to be that. It's kind of dragging me back to how I was years ago. And I don't want to be in that person anymore because I'm not her anymore, you know? I'm a young, vibrant, energetic girl that needs to go out clubbing and needs to be around young guys and having good time. That's what life should be about, you know, having a great time, enjoying yourself and having fun and learning life's experiences. I feel I've got to be my 21-year-old self even more now because I've got a lot of experience I need to have and a lot of things I need to learn. You know, maybe I will make some mistakes, but if you don't make any mistakes, you don't really learn, do you? So maybe I'm going to come up to some mistakes. I don't know. You know, I don't like saying the word mistakes because I don't think there's anything really. I think there's only lessons you learn from, right? You know, like with this Bangladeshi guy, you know, like I'm 50-50 on which to like just never speak to him again or actually try and experiment and say some stuff back and see what comes up, you know, seeing what comes back. You know, try some of the dating techniques they say. So it's kind of like, you agree, Sam? Which bit do you agree with? I've said so much. I lose track of myself sometimes. But thank you for agreeing. But you know, I do think it's I think it's really healthy for me. I'm feeling so good. Like I was just there, and you know, I cannot tell you how euphoric it is when you're in the right place and that we don't make mistakes. They are lessons. Oh right, yes, Sam. That's good. Yeah. I don't think there are any mistakes in life. I think there are only lessons you learn from. So you can never make a mistake, you can never fail, which means you can be fearless and do what you like. Do you know what I mean? So I do believe that everything I'm doing now is learning experience for me, you know? I believe that career-wise is learning for me, financial-wise is learning, and relationship-wise is learning. We're always learning, but I think I think in 2020 I'm going to learn a heck of a lot about relationships. To be honest, I think my business side of things, because I'm having new businesses next year. I'm still doing all my asexual stuff. Don't worry, don't panic. I'm still going to be doing that. I have to go off and do some other business stuff as well. So sometimes I might be a bit late on my live stream, like tonight, because I was still literally on because I do a lot of my business online. So I was literally having to message customer back. I can't stop when I'm mid conversation. Do you know what I mean? Because customers still have to come first because they're paying money to be my customer. Do you know what I mean? So I have to, you know, there might be times on my live stream when it's a bit erratic more next year because of this thing, you know, these things that I'm doing. But it's going to be good, you know, because I need to, you know, pay for food, roof over my head and all this lot so I can continue all the asexual work. If I can't sort that out, you know what I mean? Completely agree. I was married for 8 years, used to think it was a failed marriage, but not anymore. That is a long time to be with someone. It is a long time, Harmony Smurf. I didn't know that about you. I was with someone for 8.5 years. So I do know it's a very long time. And you do learn a lot, you know, like even the bad stuff that I've been through, I've learned a lot. Well, to help other people, really. Do you know what I mean? And I'm doing things backwards to what I usually do at the moment because I think, you know, in life sometimes you have to change what you're doing. Like if I keep doing the same thing, I'm keep getting the same results. It's clearly not working. You know, like when I look at the fact that you know I do want to be with an asexual guy, ideally, right? But I'm getting nowhere on the asexual dating sites. I've been on them now since 2014. When it's like March, April next year, I have been on them for like 6 years, right? So clearly, nearly 6 years later, I haven't found the right guy. It doesn't mean to say I'm not going to find the right guy, and he's not going to pop up on there, but he's not going to be anytime soon, is it? So rather than me craving after being in a sexual relationship, you know, that's why I'm allowing myself to kiss sexuals now outside relationship. It was before I knew about asexuality and aromanticism. Are you an aromantic asexual Harmony Smurf then? Yeah, because I my relationship for 8.5 years was before I knew I was asexual, but I'm romantic person, not aromantic. And I didn't realize that arousal and sexual attraction are two different things. I thought I was heterosexual for years because I used to get aroused a lot with kissing and stuff, but I didn't know that wasn't sexual attraction. But when I realized I never looked at my ex and thought, I actually want sex with you, let's do it now. That's when I realized, oh yeah, you are definitely 100% asexual. You just don't experience any sexual attraction. You never get the need or the urge or the want for sex. Do you know what I mean? But with me, in my case, because I know you've missed a lot of this video, this live stream, I love kissing. I've got a very, very big thing where I just love to kiss. I like it like a hobby, like a favorite hobby to enjoy. So I've changed what I'm doing lately. I'm allowing myself to go out to this nightclub that I love, being around younger foreign guys, which I adore because that's who I'm aesthetically and romantically attracted to the most. And I'm allowing myself to kiss outside a relationship, which is something I've not done in the past. I mean, I have done it a little bit, but not consciously. And said you can do it whatever you like for however long you want, consciously, all the time, you know, month after month, whenever you want. You don't have to stop. You can just do it as long as you're happy. You know, obviously, if you get into a relationship, you're going to have to stop. Maybe you'll decide that you'd rather be single and just carry on doing that for quite a few years. I don't know. But so I'm being different to what I usually am, and I'm trying something different. And, you know, that's what I say to people, you know, you've got to try something different. If something's not working, clearly the asexual dating scene for me is not working. After 5.5 years later on, it's really, I'm not getting anywhere romantic wise. Yeah, I got beautiful asexual friends. I got my best friend in the stream as we speak, Sam. I mean, you know, if it wasn't for asexuality, I would have met Sam. I still would ideally want an asexual guy to actually be in a serious committed relationship with. Of course I do. But if that person isn't forthcoming, I'm not going to waste another 4 or 5 years of potential kissing time. When I adore kissing so much, why should I deprive myself of the pleasure of kissing? Harmony Smurf, she wanted to spend every moment with me. Okay, and I didn't have time for my interests. It just wasn't going to work. At least I got a son out of it. Oh, bless you. Best friends always. Oh, thank you, Sam. Yeah, best friends always. I totally agree with you. Oh, bless you. Yeah, didn't have time for your interests. That's the thing, you see. I mean, years ago, I used to be the girl that liked to spend every moment with a guy. I have to admit, I have to hold my hands up. I used to be that girl years ago. Now I'm kind of like, I'd want to see a guy like, well, the only time I could actually see a guy at the moment is once or twice a week. like, like I've changed quite a lot. I mean, romantic wise, my romantic side is kind of like, oh, I wish I could see him. Oh, you know what I mean? But I've got so much projects I want to do and get done myself. That's why, you know, like I guess I suit someone with autism. You know, like I do get attracted to guys who are autistic, I have to say. I just do, because I like some of their traits. You know, I like the fact that a lot of autistic guys, they have a lot of projects on the go, and I find that very, very attractive in a guy. You know, very attractive because I like the fact they do projects. Because I get bored very easily, even though I'm not autistic myself. I've got some of the same kind of, some of my personality traits are very complementary to those of autistic people. Some of them that I know, you know, I can only talk about my friends that I know. And that's a fact. I get bored really easily, and I do like working on projects. Well, I work on different business stuff, do you know what I mean? Websites, book writing, course creation. I always like to keep busy 24/7, 365 days a year. And I don't really, I'm not one to sit in front of the TV and stuff like that. I mean, I don't play video games. I know quite a lot of autistic people play video games, don't they? But the thing I like about autistic people is they do tend to be very into their projects. They've got a lot of creative energy. They've got a lot of they've got a lot of creative energy. I mean, I don't know that you're autistic or not. I don't know, Harmony Smurf. When you said you got those, I just really understood what you were saying when you said that, you didn't have time for your interests, because in a relationship, I need to have time to do my business stuff. Do you know what I mean? Nowadays, I have to do that. Like in the past, I wasn't that type of person because I wasn't doing business stuff. I led a very boring, normal, robotic life years ago, really. I mean, I wasn't normal myself. I've never been normal, but I led quite a 9 to 5 or whatever robotic life. Do you know what I mean? So I didn't have many I always had book writing, but I didn't have that many interests. No, just a fanatic for astronomy, card games, and music making. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. I mean, I think with the hobbies, you've got to have your own interests and hobbies, but I think you've also got to share something with the person as well. It's good if you have shared interests. But yeah, I did used to be that person who wanted to spend all the time with a guy, but that's because I didn't really have much in my life. I didn't really have any friends back then. Well, the guy I was with pretty much got rid of any hope of friends that I had at that time. I'll never be in that type of position again, ever. My friends are really important to me. I'll never be without my friends. Best. Boyfriends come and grow, actually. Friends don't if they're really good friends. It's the opposite to what they teach you, isn't it? Yeah, she was a TV watcher and I found that boring. Yeah, I hate TV watchers. Sorry for everyone who watches TV. I'm not saying I hate everyone who watches TV, full stop. I hate it when people watch TV for hours and hours and don't do anything. Do you know what I mean? It just bores the heck out of me. I'm not saying that everyone. My parents watch TV for hours. TV is generally boring. Exactly. I mean, I think it's so unproductive. Do you know what I mean? You're like just wasting your life away. I didn't know this though. I used to be a TV watcher and a soap addict. Haven't had a TV in about 12 years. I have got a TV and I usually only use it for movies. Like I have a movie day every now and again. I might, but if I do a movie day, I kind of section the whole day off for a movie day or half a day. It's like I'll watch 3 movies in one day, and I'll be my movie day. So I do like watching movies. I usually go to the cinema and watch quite a few, but I like watching Marvel and stuff. I specifically get them on disc because I feel really good. They empower me. So when I'm feeling ill or deflated, lacking in energy, if I watch a superhero movie, I feel like I get rebooted just like the character does. It's really good. But yeah, but my parents watch TV constantly, every day, for hours on end. So when I go around there, I do see TV. But then, I'm spending time with them and my guinea pig, Angel, who lives with them. But yeah, I'm glad you got a son out of it, by the way, Harmony Smurf. It's good that do you see a lot of your son, by the way? I just wondered, do they see you a lot, your son? But yeah, so I'm glad, like you're happier now. I think, if you're just not compatible, you're just not compatible, I think it's hard to get a balance between seeing your partner and not really. But these days, like the romantic side of me want to see them more probably, but the realistic side of it, like I'd rather get on my business. So to be honest, I'm better off staying single. No, but haven't seen him since he was 2. He's 11 now. I live several states away. Oh no. Oh, that's really gutting. It's a shame. You moved to get medical care. Oh, bless you. It's a shame you can't fly to go and see your kid. Do you know what I mean? Because that must be really difficult for you. Do you video chat like via Skype or Facebook Messenger and stuff like that? Because that's what I'd recommend doing. If you can't see them in person, use the internet to its advantage for video chat and things like that. I think it really brings people together. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like you're in the same room as them, even though you're not. So that's the only thing I would suggest if you hadn't thought about that already. Letters, emails, and obviously video chat. No, I call him a couple of times a week. It might be nice if you did want to go and do a video call though, because then you could see him. Do you know what I mean? Actually see what he looks like and see him changing as he gets older. Do you know what I mean? Because it's visual, isn't it? He probably wants to visually see his dad, I would have thought. Do you know what I mean? That's like the power of the good power of the internet. Do you know what I mean? And Skyping and video chatting, it's all really good, I think. Do you know what I mean? Modern technology can be used for good. So, but yeah, like I'm glad that you got something out of the relationship. It's a very, like I think there's a lot of people that are incompatible, and that's what the video was about at the beginning. That the 4-letter word you need to use is word next. In other words, when someone isn't compatible for you, try and recognize it sooner rather than later when the early stages. I mean, I wasn't like this in my past, but this is how I'm getting now, to try and think next, move on quicker, because you don't want to end up staying with the wrong person when the right one won't come along. Do you know what I mean? And you kind of just got to tick them, well, cross them off your list when the person's no good for you. Do you know what I mean? So that's what the 4-letter word is. To do the videos next, like next person until you actually finally get the right person for you, in a relationship. Obviously, this applies to friends sometimes as well. I mean, you might go through tons of people that are not very good friends to you before you find really good friends. Like I've got really good friends now, Sam being my best friend who's on this chat, but I had to go through a lot of people that weren't really my friends. Well, maybe not a lot, because I didn't really have a lot of so-called friends back then, but I had to go through other people that weren't so good for me to get a really good person for me. Do you know what I mean? A good people for me. So it can apply to friendships if you're not into a relationship. Next, if you find a friend comes into your life and they're using you or abusing you or not being nice, or all they want to do is talk about themselves and never ask you how you are, then next, isn't it? Harmony Smurf would do video calls but need a new OS for my computer. Can't get the driver update needed to get a webcam to work. You can do it for your phone though. Why don't you just get a new phone? Get in next month. Good. It's very important that you get up to date with modern technology and you just do it. Just do it. Don't think, just do. That's what I say. But yeah, good that you're getting next month. But yeah, because I mean, I hear there's quite a lot of kind of like more older asexual guys in like some of the dating groups, and they're like, oh, I don't know how to video chat. I'm like, you need a video camera, you switch it on, and you need something like Skype or Facebook Messenger. And everyone uses Facebook Messenger, even older people do, much older people. And all you do in the Facebook Messenger, obviously you have to have a camera on your phone or tablet or computer. You just switch the camera icon on and press it. That's it. It's dead easy. And if you do it via Facebook, you don't have to pay for it. Do you know what I mean? Or if you do it via Skype, it's simple. So simple. People make things so complicated. Do you know what I mean? They're like, oh, they're so nervous. I do understand it if it's different and out of your comfort zone. We have to get out of our comfort zone, which is what I've been talking about pretty much throughout this whole video, is get out of your comfort zone, do things that you've never done before to learn and have experiences and, get used to saying next and moving on from one person to the other. It's hard because it's not something in my mind that I actually totally agree with. I don't think it's very good to go from one person to the next, but if, like if I'm back on the heterosexual dating scene, if I'm dating heterosexuals, then in that case it's very good to go next specifically. But you have to do that with asexuals too. There's loads of asexuals that are on ASAP and asexual dating sites, and then most of them are not good to be in a relationship with because they're completely incompatible. If you've got different relationship needs, what's the point in carrying on talking to the person unless you literally just want to be a friend to them? If you're looking specifically for a relationship, you're kind of wasting your time because of the amount of time and energy and effort you're messaging them and everything. You could be looking around at other people on other asexual dating sites and messaging other people. Do you know what I mean? So you've got to decide what you want. But yeah, I'm glad you're getting next month, because video chat will really help your son, It'll help them to see you and you can see them grow up more. It's very, very important. We didn't have these luxuries years ago, but now we do, and we just need to like learn these things as fast as possible and get on and do them. Like I learned in my entrepreneur journey that people who are successful, they don't worry about doing stuff. They just like ask, how do I do it? Like instead of saying I don't know how to do something, they ask the intelligent question of how do I do this? And so always you have to try and switch them out. It takes some getting used to that habit though, because traditionally as human beings we're like, oh no, I can't do that, I've never done it before, that's like a natural reaction. But the way to train your brain for success and to actually make big breakthroughs in your life is to say, okay, I don't know how to do this at the moment, but how do I do it? And like it should naturally lead you to the answer, and if like if it's how and you need to learn something, it's like, what videos can I watch, what books can I read, what courses can I take, do you know what I mean? That type of thing, so that you're always like learning stuff and growing. You're never like saying, I can't do something, sticking your feet in the ground and just leaving it at that. It's like, because I need to learn the art of detachment, the best way I think at the moment for me to do that is literally putting myself in situations where I need to detach, because then I'm practicing the thing I need to get good at. Do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't think I could be around heterosexual guys kissing them ever again, because 2014 was a very big deal for me, where I just couldn't do that. I felt like I was going to wet myself, but that was because of the expectation of sex at the end of the night. But when I go to the club and say there's going to be no sex, and I go home in a taxi, do you know what I mean? That kind of anxiety goes. There's nothing there, or doesn't need to be there, because it's not the same scenario. I'm not dating them, I'm not going to get into a relationship with them, and so therefore there isn't that anxiety. Obviously it might happen one day that someone does want to date me from there for real, and that I might start getting all the anxiety, worry back again, the stress. I might just think it's no good and I don't want to do this anymore. But yeah, I'm proud of you, Harmony Smurf, for going and getting a new phone and going to get your life sorted out with the webcam and stuff with your son. It's very important. It's important that we give time to these things and we just find solutions to our problems, and we keep trying stuff in life. Like, life is a journey, and we do have to keep trying different things, and we're not going to be perfect, and we're going to stumble, and we're going to fall, and we're going to get upset sometimes, and we're probably going to freak out a bit as well, but it's kind of natural. Do you know what I mean? Like, life is up and down, it's meant to be. That's what's hard. Like, when you're a kid, you're never told life is meant to be up and down. You kind of think as a kid that it's supposed to be candy floss, moonlight and roses. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's supposed to be wonderful all the time, and that if something stops and your fairy tale comes to an end, that everything's a disaster and that you're gonna die in it, or you're feeling like, oh no, I can't cope with this life anymore. But in actual fact, life is meant to be up and down, because you're meant to have black and white, you're meant to have yin and yang, you're meant to have good and bad. So you're going to go up and down. When you're going really up, eventually you will come really down. But you've got to know that, because if you're consciously aware of that, then it won't be such a big deal to you when you go down, because you'll be like, oh yeah, we're in the down phase now. If my life doesn't go according to plan, I'm just like, okay, it's not going according to plan now, which means it's going to go really well in like the next few weeks or months. It's going to soar. The more rubbish I get thrown at me now, the better my life's going to be in the next few months, because what goes down must come up. It just has to eventually. So do you know what I mean? When you're really down, you get really up, and I just look forward to getting up now. Like, when I had my respiratory infection and couldn't talk for 2 weeks, I did actually watch movies, or I made myself relax, do nothing and rest for a whole week, and I watched movies every single day, about 3 a day, which I don't usually do, but it's good for me. But I'm like, no, you have to rest. You're not allowed to do this. So I've got to stop you. Because that was a real challenge for me, resting. Like, people don't think about it these days, do they? Because we're always on the move. We don't think about challenging ourselves to rest. Do you know what I mean? We kind of like think we've got to get on. We've got to do stuff. I do. Like, I've got to do stuff all the time. But actually physically make myself rest. And it did me the world of good, It's like, this is a comfort zone I'm getting out of, because my comfort zone is working all the time and being busy. Actually sitting there doing nothing much and not thinking about much and just resting and kind of taking a week out of my life is kind of weird for me these days, but it did me good. It's what my body needed. And sometimes your body needs stuff, and it will tell your mind it just needs a rest, and if you don't listen, it will give you a rest. It'll be like, okay, I'm shutting you down now. You're going to be ill, because I want to shut your body down, because I want you to listen to me. And this is true. But the physical the physical and mental is all connected, so eventually your body will shut itself down on purpose, and you will get ill because it wants to give you a rest, or it wants to alert you to something that you haven't been looking at, you've been neglecting or ignoring. And this is how it actually works. there was a woman in my old job, and she kept literally passing out on the floor. She worked in the restaurant. This is a true story. This is real. And so she worked in the restaurant section, and she literally passed out. She was unconscious, like on the floor, right? She wasn't aware of herself. I saw her in the staff canteen once that she was completely out of it, and she kept doing it. And they were like trying to send her to the doctor, put her on medication or whatever, because they thought she had the problem, right? And I worked out, because I understand how the brain and the body correlation work. I worked out that she just couldn't stand the job, that her body would literally shut down because of the job. And there was nothing wrong with her. Just stop the job, take her and put her in a different job, and she will be happy. And that is eventually what happened. They literally took her out of the restaurant. They moved her to another department, another floor. They moved her to mine for a while. Then they moved her to women's wear, and she completely stopped that job, and she didn't have these blackouts anymore. They just stopped because it was a job. You know, because your body, your mind literally subconsciously just shuts down. If something's really bad and it's hating it, whatever it is, even if to other people it might not seem a bigger deal, if it's against your own soul and being, if it's something you really hate doing, you can't stand, your body will literally shut down. It will stop getting ill, sick, playing up, and it will literally do it on purpose. And if you if you really tap into your subconscious mind, you really will notice that that's what it's doing. I've had it in the past where I've done things to do with jobs that I hated so much that my whole body will shut down, so I can't do the thing anymore, and that I have to like leave or do something else, because it just I've been in hospital before because I've been so because I was in abusive relationships in the past, and I just used to want to get away from the abusive guy and end up in hospital. So, but I had got food allergies as well, so they did find that out as well. Well, they didn't, I did, because they just noticed like stomach pain. But I used to want to go to hospital. It was that bad with the guy I was in a relationship with. At certain points, I wanted to escape to hospital because I thought I'd be better off there. I'd have a break from him and his abuse. You know what I mean? So the mind is a very, very powerful thing. And that's why I know that I've got to do certain things next year, business-wise. I have to do them. Do you know what I mean? Because the other options are going to be terrifying, and my body's going to shut down and not going to be doing them anyway. It's just going to purposely get ill and jeopardize everything, because I know that's not my being, and my intuition tell me, do not go this way, go this way. If I do not go this way and I end up going that way, I'm going to get severely ill because I'm going against my own belief system, my own being system, and my own what I need to do in my life. So I've got to keep here, even though here is not it's not in my comfort zone. It's way out of my comfort zone, and here is more risky. It's much better to do that than go there, because if I start going there, it's gonna just be really bad for me, So the body and mind correlation is very, very important. People really underestimate, and it just goes to show with that woman in the canteen. I mean, there was another woman on my floor, and she'd been in domestic violence situations as well, and she understood that the woman's body was just shutting down, because that's what happens sometimes when you're in domestic violence situations. Your whole body just shuts down, like you go into fight or flight mode, which is basically her body was going into like shock nearly, because she just couldn't take the job. Now, to any other person outside, they might think, well, it's just a restaurant, you're just cooking food, you're just cleaning tables. But that's not how it felt to her. It was wrong for her to be doing that. It was against her own being. I couldn't be in a restaurant. I couldn't do that type of job. It would literally make me ill, because that's not what type of job I'm suited to at all. I hate it. I don't like cooking. I don't like waiting on tables. I can't be around things that would burn me or anything like that. It would just like literally freak me out. So, I understood where she was coming from a lot. So in life, you've really got to listen to yourself. But, like if you want to try something different, especially with the dating scene, do it consciously, so that you're not jeopardizing yourself. You're not going against yourself. Like I've consciously decided that I allow myself to kiss outside a relationship now. So in 2020, if I want to kiss lots of guys outside a relationship, I'm cool with that, because I've allowed myself as an adult coach to myself, if you like, to say you can do that. Use it as an experiment, use it as a learning curve, use it as a pleasurable experience in and of its own right, and learn to be learn the art of detachment, because that's something I really, really need to learn. And the only way I'm going to learn that is by practicing it. That's the only thing we learn anything. So the only way I can do that is by putting myself in situations where I would usually feel attached and make myself detach and learn how to be detached. It's going to be hard sometimes. It's not going to be easy, is it? And I've got other stuff like business wise. I've got to start new businesses next year. That's going to require me to step up to my plate. Do you know what I mean? It's going to require me to be the person even more that I was always born to be. It's going to require me to be braver bolder than I've ever been before in my life, which is quite scary. I don't really get scared about much in some ways, but when you're doing new stuff, people, especially obviously because I do so much for asexuals, I've got to go off a bit of a different tangents as well. It's kind of like I don't know how that's going to go down, but I have to do it. I've got to live, I've got to eat, and if I don't, I won't be able to continue doing the asexual stuff anyway. There'll be no internet. There'll be no, do you know what I mean? You need money for internet, everything. People forget that. They're like, oh, the internet's free. It's like, no, really, it's not. I pay money every month for my phone and for my landline package as well, and it's quite a bit of money. So like the internet's not free. That every time I do, not free for me. So every time I'm doing stuff, I still have to pay for it. So you got to get that money from somewhere. And one of the things I'm going to be doing is bringing out a brand that's kind of more sexual erogenicity. I mentioned it the other day, where you're erogenically generous with your partner. It doesn't have to lead to sex, but obviously that kind of is very different to asexuality. It's kind of breaking. Well, it's not breaking away in the sense I'm never going to break away from you guys, but it's kind of like it's going into a different realm that I kind of never would picture myself in. But unfortunately, a lot of the population is heterosexual, and you kind of got, if you're gonna do certain things, you've kind of got to cater for that market as well. Even though I don't really want to, in the sense that I'm all for asexuals. Everything I do for asexuals, well, not everything, but the majority of what I do for asexuals is free. I can't live on free stuff. So it means I've got to, when I'm doing business stuff, I've got to cater for sexuals, especially if I do anything to do with dating and relationships, I've got to go and cater for them. But I do have an erogenous side to me, despite being asexual, but it's erogenous with my clothes on and upper body out, like with a guy from his waist up, and with me, like, with my clothes on. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, it's a bit grey area really. But and I'm going to be teaching people how to make money online, which is going to be like, I've learnt one specific thing that I'm very, very good at, that I've been doing all day today, that I've just keep getting customer after customer, like list of customer, and it's been amazing. I've got a real buzz out because I'm trained in selling physical products. That's what I've been training for years with my retail jobs, and now I'm selling physical products online sometimes. It's just really, really good experience, and it feels great to be doing that again because I know what I'm doing with that. So I'm going to be doing a course all about that next year, which is obviously going to be different to asexuality. But having said that, there are a ton of asexuals that they can't work for a boss. They've got mental health problems, or they're like they're maybe autistic, or they got difficulties in working for a boss in general, just because we're different and we kind of don't like to conform to society or be a robot, which I've never really, I'm either a leader, or I don't want to. No, I'd rather be on my own as a leader. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm not a follower. So it can create a lot of problems. And I think there's quite a few asexuals that don't kind of get on with the management hierarchy and the kind of establishment, if you know what I mean. So I think a lot of asexuals, from what I can gather, we do tend to end up working on our own. If I can help people who are asexual make money online from home, like spare cash and stuff, like for a trip, maybe an asexual meetup, or to make more money for food, or just have a bit more peace of mind, just it's going to be good, isn't it? So I think even asexuals are going to benefit from the make money online course that I'm going to be doing. I already started doing part of it, but I'm still finishing the asexual meetup mastery course. But I've postponed that for a few days while I actually, before Christmas, while I work on the online stuff, actually doing the online selling, which is what the course is going to be about. But I'm physically doing that at the moment because with Christmas coming up, it's the busiest time. Obviously, people are wanting last minute Christmas presents, and I've got a good standing in what I'm doing, so they come to a reputable person. So it's all good. I've got a real buzz and excitement from today. but I'm like, I've had 2 hours sleep, so not very much. So I'm gonna go in a minute and go and get some sleep. But yeah, just remember in the asexual dating scene or any dating scene to try things out and bear in mind the four-letter word next. So you're gonna have to go through a lot of, like I said, frogs to you get your prince or princess. And you know, just try and experiment for yourself and within your own boundaries, and you know, and stay safe basically. But yeah, just have more of a mentality of next person, you know, this person's no good, next, rather than being like me that I've always been in the past, just clinging to the newest person that comes along, thinking it's got to be the fairy tale romance of this is the person forever and I'm going to be forever with them happily ever after, which is obviously my very romantic idealistic side that's really not that ideal. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful, helpful, insightful in some way. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate all the love tonight. I've already got 5 thumbs up before I go off air, so I really appreciate it. I want to send a lot of love and give you a lot of thanks for supporting this channel. It does mean so much when you guys are, and girls or whatever gender, are on here watching, you know, and supporting and joining the conversation and talking, you know, like this channel now has turned into a full-blown like chat show every night, like for 1 or 2 hours quite a lot of the time, you know. That's kind of incredible, you know. It wasn't until like last year in July that I started live streaming every night, and you know, it's gone from strength to strength, this channel, in terms of engagement, in terms of conversation, in terms of feedback, you know, and community here. And I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. You know, I love you lots, and I wouldn't be doing this channel if it wasn't for you. You know, if you guys didn't like it, I wouldn't do it. There's no point. I'm here for you. So I want to give you a big thank you and a lot of love, and I want to give you lots of kisses. Thank you so much, my best friend Sam, for being on here. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ray, who's a wonderful friend too. Thank you, Heather, who's a wonderful friend. And Harmony Smurf, who I haven't seen for a while, but it's great to have you back. Lots of love to you. And there was Martin earlier. Lots of love to Martin, who I think's left the chat at the moment. So yeah, lots of love to everyone. And I really appreciate you being here. I cannot thank you enough. If you think anyone would benefit from this channel, please do tell them about Asexualized, My Asexual Life. And don't forget, if you haven't checked out my book yet, please go and do so on Amazon, because it has got lots of other people telling their stories, including aromantics. So not all romantic people, right? You've got aromantic people talking about, you know, it's, you know, they think that there's too much emphasis put on romance and there should be more emphasis put on friendship, you know, and that romance shouldn't be on a pedestal like it is. So, you know what I mean? They do have their say in here. It's not just all romantic people, in case you thought it was. And yeah, so until next time, embrace your quirky and each other. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that great big bell icon to get notified every time I go live right now, post a new video. It's been an absolute pleasure. Oh, Sam said this is a great book. Yeah, Sam's got the book. Thank you, Sam. Appreciate that. The link's down below, right, if you want to check it out. And my new fibromyalgia book, which can help you to have less pain, more energy, and feel happier in your life. Very good if you've got a depression or anxiety. Really helps improve it. So that's Fibromyalgia Self-Help Handbook. You don't have to have fibromyalgia to really benefit from the book. Honestly, it's a really insightful read. And yes, just before we go, Andy told me that the friend that got my book found it excellent, my fibro book. So I'm really happy about that. Thank you, Andy. I know you're not watching tonight, but you'll be watching on the live stream replay, so lots of love to you. Anyway, thank you so much. Really lovely to have you here. Take care, lots of love, and I'll see you on the next video or live stream. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live right now or post a new video. Take care. Bye. Have a good day. Lots of love. Bye.